Hi Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your November 2021 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Leo be affected by the November 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Excuse me. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Star, which is Aquarius energy, and we have the Chariot, which is Cancer energy. Now, if we have Aquarius or Cancer within our natal chart, that's coming through very powerfully as our rooted energy, but also if we have Aquarius or Cancers in our lives, they're going to be affecting us at a root level, at our very base. Then we have the Four of Swords, and we have the Page of Swords. Air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, amplifying the Aquarius energy here at our root. This is coming through air sign energy very powerfully in our inner selves. We then have in our emotional selves, we have the Three of Cups and the Six of Swords. There's a betrayal here that we're moving forward from, and there's a sense of facing the unknown. Yeah. Then we have our public arena self. We have the Wheel of Fortune, and we have the Three of Cups again. And there's a sense of a healing coming into play as things change. Like the three coming together is going to be very important. But again, the Three of Cups is that person who we think is supposed to celebrate us, who comes in and just doesn't. And so there's a healing that has to be done through that during this full moon. And this full moon is a lunar eclipse, so everything is more intense during this full moon. So personal relationships, we're going to see them so much more intensely. And this can be a time of tremendous healing for us, just tremendous cathartic healing. And that's going to be a really great thing. So let's look at our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Ooh, we have two. We have the Page of Swords coming through, well, the Princess of Swords in this Druidcraft deck, and we have the King of Wands. So the King of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We're being told don't get in our own way, and also we're going to think that like the more passionate we can be, the more fiery somebody is, the better it is. And Spirit's saying here, no, we want things to be more tempered. Then we have the Princess of Swords, which is the Page of Swords, which we have coming in our inner self. There is a sense here of needing to embrace words, all right? And there is going to be this sense of somebody coming in and talking a really great talk, but not being able to follow through. And that's going to be something that we really need to be mindful of during this time. It can also be a power imbalance for us where we're seeing ourselves as the King of Wands. We're seeing ourselves very much in this place of power, and then the Princess of Swords comes in, and this person is trying to get their footing, is trying to understand. They can also be a bit of a princess, somebody who just feels entitled, and so that's going to be something very intense coming forward. Then we have our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Peace. This is the crown chakra, and this is embracing peace within our lives, within ourselves, moving forward, crowning ourselves in peace. And however we can visualize that as putting a crown upon our head, as this golden light, swirling around us, it's visualizing, there we go, I can say that word. It's visualizing peace around us, and it's visualizing the power of that peace really guiding us forward. So this is an astrological as well as tarot reading. So let's see what astrologically this lunar eclipse full moon in Taurus has to offer us on the 19th of November. So everything is much more intense when there is a lunar eclipse. As in all full moons, the sun is opposite the moon, which brings with it the sense of relationships coming into sharp focus. And we're going to see that. We're going to see that in weird ways. Like we could be getting phone calls out of the blues from people that we haven't spoken to in forever, that really scarred us, that really hurt us. Or we could be, kind of hashing things out with somebody, or just being able to look at somebody who has wounded us in our lives and be able to really see that and focus on what we have learned and how different we are from then. From them, yes, but from then. And what's going to happen is that we will be having also opposite forces coming to light during this time. So the opposite forces in our lives can be work and home, it can be wants and needs, it can be other people's wants and our wants, other people's needs and our needs. We're also going to have a lot more emotional awareness and more spiritual and personal, kind of understanding of what we want and what we need from our lives and from ourselves. So this is going to be a time where we're kind of able to lay things, in a centered, focused way. A lunar eclipse also represents the resetting of our emotions and a clearing away of a lot of the baggage that we've been carrying for the last 6 months. And since I've been seeing the world like just tinged in this bit of gray, this is going to be very important to us to be able to release so much of the darkness, so much of the hurt, so much of the pain that is around us, and being able to step into our light in ourselves, even if we're having a really great time, even if our energy vibration is perfect and life is rather normal, we're going to find that still that little bit of gray is around things. And this is going to be a time where we kind of see ourselves stepping out of that gray, stepping into our lives. Now the full moon is in Taurus. Taurus is the second sign in the zodiac, and this means that it is naturally linked to the second house, which represents the material things, the material world, which represents food and our bodies and our well-being. So this is going to be a time where this moon really has us focusing on ourselves, on our sensuality, on the grounding to this earth and to what is really important to us here on this earthly plane. We are being told to pay attention to the quality of things, not the quantity of things. So that's going to be very important. The sun is in Scorpio, which is the 8th sign in the zodiac, and this means it's naturally linked to the 8th house, which is the house of regeneration and death. Now, people can get a bit worried when they hear the house of death. It's just the regeneration and the rebirth of ourselves. We all have this sense of a dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new. We're not the same people we were when we were 15. We're not the same people we were when we were 10 or 20, 30, 40, 50, and it goes on and on. We're always changing, we're always evolving, we're always becoming. And this is what the sun in Scorpio really illuminates within our lives. It's a door into another world opening to us. Now, as the second house in Taurus have us focusing on the material world, the eighth house in Scorpio have us connecting with the spiritual world and the esoteric side of life. These two need to be balanced, and that's going to be something that we're really seeing here, this balance within ourselves and the way that we want to move forward. Taurus and the second house also have us linked with Mother Earth and what we are earning and our ability to provide for ourselves. So this is going to be a time where we're really looking at things very seriously and we're really looking at our projection forward. While Scorpio in the eighth house is linked to the bank, so to our savings and how we are able to save once everything is taken care of. So this is going to be a time where we're really looking how we move forward and where it is that we want to be, and if there's any changes that we need to make or anything that we have to reevaluate, it's going to come up during this time. Also, the moon is going to be squared Jupiter. Now, this brings hopefulness and enthusiasm into our lives, though it amplifies our emotional response to things. So we have to be mindful of our hearts and our reactions to things. We can be very emotionally reactive during this time, so just be aware of that. We are also going to have a tendency, as everybody is going to have a tendency, towards moodiness, irritability, and carelessness, so be aware of that energy being around us. We are also going to be told that by adopting an attitude of gratitude, we're going to find that spiritually, not materially, we're going to be advanced forward. Now, that came out wrong. So what Spirit is saying here is not that we're going to be spiritually advanced and not materially advanced. What it means is that once we start focusing on the spiritual and not the material, we're going to see things start to evolve within our lives. And we're going to see ourselves starting to be transformed and pushed forward, which means that we're kind of coming out of a rut or coming out of a certain way of looking and seeing things and really propelling ourselves into a better place to stand, into a place that is more aligned with ourselves. Now, Jupiter is also going to urge us to expand our horizons and be mindful of having greed take over. And that's why Spirit is really saying here, focus on the spiritual, not the material, because we can have a tendency towards greed during this time, and that is linked to our fixed star, which we'll talk about in a little while. But now we have the moon trine Pluto, which brings with its spiritual and emotional sensitivity. There's a lot of emotional connectivity during this time, and that can make us rather sensitive. We're also going to find that our psychic development, our psychic presence in this world is being brought to the forefront. And that's why a lot of the scars can be coming up. A lot of the things that have thrown us off balance can be coming up. And this is going to be a time where we start centering ourselves, where we start seeing, okay, how do I need to move forward? How do I listen to that inner voice inside of me? How do I propel myself to the place that I need to be? We are also going to find that we feel things powerfully and that things feel very powerful to us. If there's a way that we're aligning with our inner self and what's right for us, that's going to be a powerful feeling. And it's going to be a feeling almost as if we're coming into ourselves more and more. There's a subconscious urge to evolve, and this evolution of the self is on a spiritual level as well as a personal level, and it's empowered by the energy of Jupiter, which helps us to achieve our goals and align ourselves with our karmic destiny. Now, there is an eclipse aspect pattern that comes into play during this time, and it's the alignment of the sun, the moon, Jupiter, and Pluto, which create a quadrilateral, which is known as the animated figure. Now, the animated figure, just from its name, we know it's going to bring things to life. It's going to start animating things. Now, this isn't necessarily going to happen easily or overnight, but what we are going to find is that it brings things to the surface that need to be seen physically and mentally, and it lets us tap into our imagination and perseverance to get the job done. And so a lot of things are going to come up that we once thought were terrible things, but they're actually going to be moving us forward in a very real way. We just need to be mindful, because we're all going to have the sense of it's all or nothing. And everybody's going to feel that way. It's either I'm all in or I'm not in at all. And Spirit's saying here, we need to be balanced. We need to be balanced, and we need to look at things instead of getting moody, instead of getting, frustrated. We need to look at things in a calm, collected way. That's why we always need to crown ourselves with peace. Now, the fixed star Algol is coming into play, which is represented by the head of the constellation of Medusa. So at the head of the constellation of Medusa is Algol. And Algol is known rather intensely and dramatically as the most evil star in the heavens, which I know nobody likes that. Nobody is thrilled that Algol is there. But what we know about Algol is that it can have a tendency towards violence, towards extremes, towards misfortunes, towards carelessness, and even, it's just not good. So what we're going to see here is that we need to keep our energy vibration high. And as we keep our energy vibration high, we can counteract or kind of repel everything that Algol is throwing our way. And as we do this, we keep our heads, because Algol can have us losing our heads over the most trivial things, have us reacting in an extreme way to everything. So we just have to be mindful about this and not fall into the trap of greed, because it can also bring us to a greed towards a sense of, I have to just accumulate more and more to build these walls around myself to keep myself safe. And if we fall into the trap of greed, we're going to regret it. So it's just being very mindful of that aspect during this time. And it moves us to the star, which is the most contrary thing to greed that we can come by, almost the most contrary thing that we can come by in the major arcana. These are our greatest wishes. These are our deepest needs and wants, seen by the heavens and really brought forward. So this isn't what we cross our fingers and wish for. This is what we deeply, deeply need deep down within ourselves. This is the alignment of our souls and ourselves and our power and our instincts and our imagination to really move us forward. And what we're going to see here is that the path opens up, that there's a brightness and a beauty to our lives, that there is a sense of, I'm following what I wish for, and I'm falling into what I wish for and what I desire within my life and how I move myself forward. Wishes do come true. And it's going to be this time, even though we have all this craziness coming up, it's going to be this time where we start really seeing what our heart longs for and what our heart deeply desires. And it moves us to the Chariot. It moves us to a place of action. It moves us to a place of determination and focus and power. And it moves us to this sense of, I'm letting my heart guide me forward. And if we're born on the cusp with Cancer, we're really going to see this aspect of the heart really coming out. And emotionally, we're going to be taming that tiger within us. We're going to be taming that chaos within us and saying, okay, I'm writing this forward. I'm going after what I dream and what I desire and where I need to be. And it leads us to this place where we're honoring all the hardships and all the pain and all the chaos that we have been through. We're honoring everything that has tried to stop us, everything that has been a hurdle in our path. And we're moving forward towards ourselves, towards what we desire, and towards what we greatly love and want within our lives. But by doing so, we have to honor the journey that we have been on, our past, everything that we love about ourselves, but also everything that we would think, wow, I'd change that if I could. I'd go back and I'd do that differently. And what Spirit is saying here, honor your road. Honor your road and become a student of everything that has happened, everything that has come before us, even within our past life self. We're going to find that there's this connection. And there's this anxiety around this time. It's almost a sense of, I have to have everything perfect. And if I can't have everything perfect, then everything just falls apart. And I felt that very much in the astrology. It's almost like you're going to miss something. You're going to miss something. And Spirit's saying here, why do you feel that way? Why do you feel like something is going to be missed? Why do we feel like something is going to fall away? Well, we are here are students of our voice, students of our mind, students of the way that we are moving forward within ourselves and what we are creating and developing for our world and what we desire. And so here we're cutting through a lot of doubts and fears and negativity. Here we are really embracing a lot of what we desire for ourselves to move forward. And we really are embracing this sense of new wonderment, new insights, new power guiding, this sense of, I'm coming to things as a student, I'm coming to things as a learner, as a developer, as a person who is insightful playful and creative. And it leads us to this place within our hearts that we're moving away from a lot of the betrayals that have been overwhelming us, a lot of the things that have been sideswiping us or, keeping us off our game. And there really is a sense here of this moon is illuminating. This moon is illuminating a lot of what we've been trying to fix within our lives, or a lot of what has kept us off balance as we're moving forward. And it can be personal relationships, okay, because relationships are very important during the full moon. It can also be, insights and imaginations and desires and dreams that are really coming up. And we're thinking, this just was knocked off because of hurtful, hateful things that were said, or anger and frustration that were thrown at me. And what we're going to see here is that we're really moving forward. We're gathering up our knowledge, and we're moving forward in a way of passion, in a way of instinct, in a way of ideas, in a way of I am stepping into myself openly and lovingly. And as we do this, we are looking at those people who weren't able to hold the cup up to us and celebrate us. But we are also looking at those people who might have wanted to bash us over the head with the cup, but always stood by us, always celebrated us, and that we wanted to bash over the head with the cup, but again, always stood in our corner. And so there is a sense here of there can be this kind of like love-hate thing going on, and I don't know why that's coming up so strongly, but there is also this sense of healing. There is this sense of seeing. There is this sense of acknowledging. And that's when we're taking all our knowledge and letting our angels guide us forward. That's really where we're seeing ourselves transformed and transforming. And as this happens in the Wheel of Fortune, we're entering into a new world. The Wheel of Fortune is the sense of a fate coming in. And there's a sense of being on this roller coaster ride, the highs, the lows, the lefts, the right. And what we're seeing here is that we're transforming ourselves forward. What we see here is that so much is changing so that we can move towards where it is that we truly want to be within our lives and what it is that we truly desire. And as we do this, we step into ourselves more and more. We acknowledge ourselves more and more, and we're empowered by fate, but also by our connection to this world and to this earth and to ourselves and to our family and our friends and what we adore and what we don't like, and how we're embracing our idiosyncrasies and how we're embracing ourselves and our desires. And it moves us again to the Three of Cups. And this here says friendship, because the Three of Cups traditionally is the celebration of friendship coming in. But always, whenever I see this, Spirit always has me read it as the people who were supposed to celebrate us but couldn't. And we tend to focus on those people. It's kind of like if you have an abusive parent. So in psychology, you learn that if you have an abusive parent, that the child will try to get that parent's approval more than the parent that isn't abusive, that is kind and loving. And so what we're going to see here is that we're going to have more energy spent on trying to win over those who aren't good for us, who are toxic to us, than those who love us, who connect with us, who care for us. And so this is a time where we're saying, why am I wasting that energy? Why am I wasting my energy trying to connect with people who will not connect with me, or trying to understand what is unforgivable or ununderstandable? And now I connect with myself, and I connect with love, and I connect with friendship, and I connect with beauty, and I connect with the power that is within me and that guides me forward. And that becomes also the sense of connecting with the Trinity of our beings. Whatever that is, it could be a religious Trinity, it could be a spiritual Trinity, but it's also within the sense of this is the student, the child, the adult, the wisdom that we become. And as we embrace this, we start to celebrate the aspects of ourselves. We start to celebrate the path that we are walking and living and embracing during this time. And this is a time where we're really being guided towards something greater. We're really being told that there is more here than meets the eye. And as we are a student of our mind and our voice, we are embracing our words, but we're also knowing how powerful words can be, how powerful our voices, how powerful our speeches, how powerful what we desire is. And it moves us to the moon. So let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. At our root, we have the answers you need are coming, and that's what this time is about. Even though we fear them, even though as these answers come, as this power opens up to us, we fear a lot of what we're going to see, a lot of what is transforming before us. And that fear is going to be just from our past experiences, from the past hurt and the past pain. But what Spirit is saying also is that as the answers come, we cannot fear what we are hearing. We cannot fear our progression forward. What we have to do is embrace ourselves, embrace what we desire from our lives, embrace the sense of, I don't want to be that small person anymore, huddled in the dark. I want to live my life in joy. And that's what this time is giving us. A time to live our life in joy. And it brings us to our inner self, which is emotions are running high, the path. The emotions run high as we embrace our path, as we look at the rungs that we have walked before, and the way that we are to progress forward, the way that we are to embrace our lives. And it brings us to our emotional self, which says meditate and contemplate and balance. Meditate and contemplate everything that is coming up. Meditate and contemplate everything that we have been through. But now it is time to balance ourselves and our souls and our desires and our wishes. And as we come into balance, and as we balance the spiritual and the practical, as we balance, who it is that we are and who it is that we want to be, it leads us to our public arena self. And that's as you are good enough. Beauty. You are good enough. Beauty. And it's the expression of ourselves. We are beautiful. We are powerful. We are purposeful. We are not here by mistake. You are good enough. Let that shine through. Let the beauty and the brilliance shine through. And the you are good enough isn't patronizing. It isn't saying, oh, you're fine just right now, like nothing more is expected of you. You are enough, just as you are, just as you stand. And embracing the heart and the soul, embracing the body and the spirit. That is what transforms us. That is what moves us forward. And that's what makes us mighty and powerful. It moves us to our subconscious Luna message, which is luck is on your side, Leo. Have faith. Luck is on your side. Have faith in what you're building. Have faith in who you are. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is Taurus. This Taurus full moon. It's the Hierophant. It's be mindful of the power of this Taurus full moon. Be mindful of all the energy and all the emotions that you are going to be feeling, because it's going to be intense and it's not going to apologize. It isn't. It's going to have us looking at things in just raw, open way and say, this is what needs to be seen. Period. End of discussion. This is what grounds us to this earth, and this is what moves us forward. It moves us to our subconscious chakra message, which is the heart chakra, the inner child. It's connecting with our heart chakras. It's connecting with our inner child. And as we connect with our inner child, it's going through the exercise that I absolutely love of holding your arms open. Visualize yourself holding your arms open to the child that you are. And let that child run into your arms. And let yourself connect. Say, I love you. I'm here for you. I will always be here for you. I will always hear you, and I will always see you. And above all, I will always love you. And that is powerful. It moves us to our subconscious rooted message, which is the sun. The sun is the happiest card in the whole entire tarot deck. At our root shines happiness and joy and success and bounty. And the light of the sun is what's reflected off the moon. And the light of the sun is what brings us our warmth and our joy. And so there's happiness and brilliance here. Will people try to shoot us down? Yes, because people get jealous. They take us by eyes. And what Spirit is saying here is embrace the happiness. It moves us to our subconscious inner self. And it's the Two of Cups, the minor arcana lover's card. It's falling in love with life. It's falling in love with who we are. It's finding that unity and that brilliance. And it's having the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine aspects of ourselves guide us forward to absolute brilliant success. It brings us to our subconscious emotional self, which is the Three of Cups. Not the Three of Cups, the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands is showing us that the world is opening. So like when we think our world is small, it's like all of a sudden we thought our world was small. We thought it was just like this. And now the shell is broken. We have faced so much hurt and pain and disappointment, fears and doubt. This moon has made us see it all. And, the power of the new moon that came before, this is what's guiding us forward. And now we see the world opening to us. Now we see our power leading us. And it brings us to our subconscious inner self, a public arena self, which is the Five of Wands. We're going to be so used to battle. And it's going to come from within. That's why Spirit had this said as the inner self. Because subconsciously, we are preparing to fight. We're going to be facing, things that we have faced before, hurts and pains and disappointments. And what Spirit is saying here is, do not let this knock us off our game. Move forward in the power, in the beauty, in the connection that is us, in the brilliance that is us. It's battles, but it's a battle against the self. And Spirit's saying here, there are enough battles to face within this world. We don't have to be battling who it is that we are. All right, Leo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the beauty of this full moon. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Leo, and may you have a blessed moon.